Hello and welcome to Radnor 411. My name is Jim Doling and I will be your host. In each episode of Radnor 411, you will get updates from every department to help keep you informed on all that is happening in your township. Up first is Bill White, the Director of the Finance Department.
Hello and welcome to the finance portion of the Radnor 411. I'm Bill White, your finance director, and for this portion of the taping I'd like to talk a little bit about what's going on with your finance department. Specifically, with this being close to the end of the year, we've got some pretty major items that we're working on. The biggest by far being the finalization of the next year's operating and capital budgets. So we are working on those. Just as a bit of an overview of the department, the finance department is charged with pretty much all financial affairs of the township. We take in all of the property tax revenue receipts. We take in all of the sewer rent revenue, along with all of the different fines and charges for services that the various departments charge for their services. For example, building permits from community development, recreation, programming revenue. The finance department is charged with overseeing the collection of all those various types of revenue. Also associated with that then is the maintaining of records of what the source of those charges are. If we're talking about real estate taxes, then we're talking about maintaining the database that keeps what the valuations are. And obviously we get that information from Delaware County and keep that up to date with them. But that's also part of what we do on a daily basis, is keeping all that up to date. Over on the expense side, finance is charged with overseeing all of the payroll for the active employees of the township, as well as the retirees from the two different pension systems that we have, those being civilian and the police officers' pensions. So payroll's on a biweekly pay frequency, so that keeps us pretty busy there as well. And then also with accounts payable, taking care of all the bills and making sure that we're paying the vendors for the various products, supplies, services that we're buying from them, so that we can then turn and provide service to all the stakeholders of the township. Some of the other functions, we also oversee all the cash flow and the cash management aspects of the township, investments, making sure we have ample cash flow to meet payroll and to meet accounts payable. So managing those daily financial aspects is something else that we work on quite a bit. As I mentioned earlier, this is the end of the year. We're working on completing or finalizing the 2011 operating budget and updates to the 5-year capital plan. Being that the town manager and myself are both new to the township this year, there's a great deal of fact-finding and research and reading that has gone into trying to get our arms wrapped around all the different pieces to the puzzle, so to speak, to get this budget put together. So it has been a much longer process than what will normally occur for the township in future years once everyone gets a comfort level on the different types of services we're providing, the different kind of contracts that are in place for the various items that are that occur within the township, and those types of things, those little nuances that are specific to Radnor Township. So briefly, the budget from its infancy to final adoption is basically a 5-month process, usually beginning sometime in August of every year, and then obviously getting done or finally being adopted in December for the following year. So during that time period, departments are spending a lot of time evaluating their operations, services they're providing, how much it costs, their level of staffing, what the impact of the collective bargaining agreements are to our staffing, what those costs are, really going in and evaluating how all of those different aspects impact the budget, which ultimately it allows the township to report back to the stakeholders in a manner that says, this is how much it costs to provide service to the township. What I've got briefly is a couple pie charts that were prepared this summer, or actually this fall, trying to, in a one-page format, provide the stakeholders with a snapshot of the different departments that exist and how those departments are organized to provide stakeholders with services. In looking at the chart, we have 8 primary areas of the budget that we look at. There's an administrative function, a community development, police, parks and recreation, fire and ambulance services, public works. And then there's a category called non-township contributions, and I'll get into detail on that a little bit here in a second. And then finally, debt service. Debt service represents the township's current debt load and the amount of money we are paying on an annual basis as required by the outstanding debt we have. And with that piece of pie, that represents monies that have already been borrowed and spent. That doesn't represent any kind of new debt service moving forward. Administration, those are the internal service functions of the township, like, for example, the manager's office, information technology, the finance department, departments that exist to either administer or manage the operations of the township or to provide service to the various departments. For example, information technology, making sure that the police department has the computers necessary to keep their operation running. And finance, for example, doing payroll for all the various departments. So that's what is in that category. Community development deals with permitting, zoning, engineering, those types of activities. Police is pretty self-explanatory. Those are the uniform and non-uniformed civilian personnel that provide service out of the function of police. The non-uniform civilian represent crossing guards that the township pays for, as well as secretarial staff that help out in the department. Parks and recreation, again, pretty self-explanatory. Those are all the recreational programming that the township offers, as well as the programming aspect of the different parks that exist within the township. That does not include the cost of the personnel and the equipment necessary to maintain the parks. That falls under the Public Works umbrella, which is a good segue to Public Works. That is by far the biggest department in terms of personnel and services. That department oversees sanitary sewer management. We actually repair and maintain our own fleet with our own mechanics. Road maintenance and repair improvements, that's patchwork to the roads, or even replacing or resurfacing roads. We have a small amount of that goes towards stormwater management. We have curb and sidewalk maintenance, street lighting, traffic signals and signs maintenance, snow and ice removal, street cleaning, engineering, leaf collection, and sanitary or trash collection. Out of all those different areas I just mentioned, really the 3 biggest, as you can tell by the chart, is trash collection, sanitary sewer, and then general services, which is basically the department going out and responding to calls for service in the township. So that Public Works is by far the biggest department within the township. And then there's a small amount that the township contributes to the various fire companies that provide service here within the township, those being Radnor Fire, Bryn Mawr Fire, and as well as we have contracted with MVSC for ALS, or Advanced Life Support Ambulance Services as well. So that's what that fire portion of the expense pie goes toward. And then finally, non-township contributions represent various items or organizations in which the Board of Commissioners have decided to include providing funding for out of the township's budget. Some of those include contributions to the Surrey Senior Services, the Wayne Arts Center, the library falls within that category, and others. So that is a real quick snapshot of the various types of services that the township provides annually to all the stakeholders of the community. there is a lot more detail, obviously, that goes into what makes up these pieces of the pie, and we are working as part of the budget on being able to better identify, itemize, and programmatically put those together so that we could provide the Board of Commissioners and the stakeholders with it costs X number of dollars to provide service for this or that, like leaf collection. It costs the township X number of dollars. So that's one of the primary exercises of the budget, is putting all that type of information together. And it is very much a township-wide project. All the departments are involved. All the department heads are providing their input. They're providing estimates. They're working with myself and other members of the finance department in putting this information together. So it really is a very comprehensive look at how we provide service. The last thing I have for this month, for this edition, is a quick survey that was done by Abington in terms of comparative tax rates. And I found it very interesting, and I'd like to share it with you. There were 8 different communities that responded to a survey this past fall. Upper Merion, Abington, Upper Dublin, Cheltenham, Upper Moreland, Horsham, Lower Merion, and then Radnor. And what the comparison was given 4 different types of either taxation or charges for services, and where those different communities stack up in terms of where how much per capita those taxes equate to. Those 4 different types of taxation or charges for service include real estate taxes, the local services tax, commonly referred to as the LST, earned income tax, which is also referred to as an EIT, as well as refuse charges. It seems that as townships struggle to generate revenue to provide services, some townships have moved from including the refuse charges within the real estate and started to bill separately for them, which Radnor does not do. Out of those 4 different types of taxation, Radnor only does 2. We do the real estate taxes, and we have a local services tax as well. Many of the 8 or of the other 7 that responded to the survey do all 4, or at least do 3, with the 3rd one being the refuse charges. So out of those 8 communities, Radnor Township is the lowest. And this is the kind of information that we're trying to compile to make sure that we as the organization know where we're falling in line with other communities, but also to make sure that the stakeholders are aware. Oftentimes we hear or we see our tax bill and immediately react and feel that we're paying a hefty price, which I pay taxes too, so I'm part of that category. But it's important as a frame of reference or as perspective to see what we're getting in return for those investment dollars. So this information will be put on the website. It'll be included in the budget discussions, and it really is good for all of us to be able to see this kind of stuff and have dialogue about it, make sure we all understand what it means. And so look for that as part of the budget process and as continuing disclosure from the township back to the stakeholders. So that's the update for this month. Again, as we proceed through the budget process, if you have a concern or you would like to know where we're at with the process, please visit the township's website. We're trying to keep that as up to date as possible with the budget calendar, different types of events that have taken place or may be taking place as part of the budget process, like open forums or public input or town manager listening sessions or those types of things to add transparency and openness to the process. So I would encourage everyone to go to the website and check that out if you're interested. Other than that, I thank you for the time, and I'll see you again the next show.
In our next segment, Dan Malloy, the township engineer, will explain to you about all the work that is happening at the Wayne train station.
For those of you who have happened to walk past the Wayne train station in the last couple of weeks, you may have noticed a project that's being funded by the Gateway Enhancement Trust. The Township of Radnor has let a contract to Les Bucciarelli to install sidewalk and curb along Station Road. It's approximately 400 feet of new sidewalk and curb, and it extends from North Wayne Avenue to Waynewood and gives pedestrians who are in the area a new safe place to walk. Once this work is completed, SEPTA has volunteered to come in and repave all of Station Road in addition to their parking lots. And they're also going to stripe the area, which is going to make it even more accessible by pedestrians. So in addition to what you see out there today, there'll be a crosswalk from the senior center over to the train station that will include a speed hump or a speed table that will help slow down traffic and allow people to access the station safely. There'll also be a crosswalk across the parking lot that recently was reconstructed by SEPTA that will help get pedestrians down the new walkway between Station Road and the parking lot all the way into the train station safely. Some of the other improvements were adjusting some parking spaces on the SEPTA side to help give the township a little more green space, and a flagpole was going to be installed at the senior center.
And now, Matt Bauman, the Director of the Community Development Department, explains to us what he does for the township.
Hi, I'm Matt Bauman. I'm the Director of Community Development for Radnor Township. I'm also the zoning officer. I've been with the township now for about 6 years. Today I'd like to explain some of the facets of my job and my responsibilities that are included with it. One of the things I do every day is take a look at building permits and ensure that they're compliant with our zoning code. If they're not compliant with our zoning code, they are then referred to our zoning hearing board for review. Another aspect I deal with is working closely with the engineering department on any land development application that's submitted. The engineering department and my department review each application to ensure compliance with our subdivision and land development ordinance and also our zoning code. They are then referred on to the Planning Commission for review and ultimately for our Board of Commissioners for approval. As the building code official in this department, it is my responsibility to ensure that permits are reviewed and issued in a timely manner that's consistent with the Pennsylvania Department of Labor and Industry standards. Well, we're in the heart of budget season right now. As a director, it is my responsibility to gather the facts and figures and present them to the finance department. What you see in front of you right now are years 2009 and 2010, and number of permits issued, and the permit fees generated. The building permit fees for 2009 issued were $1,322. The total permit fees generated for the year 2009 were about $615,000 for an average of $1,360. If we jump to 2010, you'll see that the number of permits issued at $1,466. More importantly, the fees increased by 26.5% to $777,000 for an average of $1,640. I think Radnor's doing okay overall compared to last year. Are we at a level of 3 years ago? Absolutely not. But I am cautiously optimistic about the future. Thanks for listening today. Again, I'm Matt Bauman. I'm the Director of Community Development. Please feel free to call my office anytime at 610-688-5600. I'm at extension 168. Please let me know if you have any issues or concerns. We'll see you next month on a different topic in community development. Thank you.
In case you wish to see any of the charts or slides that we've shown you on today's show, they are available at the Township website at www.radnor.com. Up next, we take a trip over to the Public Works building where Bill Cassidy explains to us about the sign maintenance department.
Hello, my name is Bill Cassidy. I've been employed with Radnor Township for the past 24 years. I'm the supervisor of the sign maintenance department. Some of our duties are the maintenance and upkeep of all the township signs, approximately about 9,000. We work on the township roads as well as the state roads. We also maintain all the parking meters throughout the township, and we do the painting throughout the township as well. Approximately 120 or so intersections. We do the speed humps, and we also do all the handicap areas for the residents. We work hand in hand with the traffic safety unit of the police department on installation of new signs. All the signs are governed by certain criteria, so we just don't go out and just put any sign up we want. Also, part of our duties is to help the highway department in the leaf collection and snow removal. I would just like to thank you for joining me in the sign department, and enjoy your town and be safe. Thank you.
Have you ever wondered who the Township Ordinance Enforcement Officer is? Well, you're in luck, because up next is Billy Gallagher.
Hello, I'm Billy Gallagher. I've been with the Township now for 10 years. Actually, it's my second stint with the Township. I was a former police dispatcher, and now my title is Ordinance Enforcement Officer. I work under the Traffic Safety Division of the Police Department. Some of my jobs include the operation, maintenance, and auditing of the 787 parking meters throughout the Township. Also in traffic safety, I'm responsible for putting out the speed board, which is a traffic calming device that you see throughout the Township all the time. My other job is the animal control. Animal control issues involve rabies, dangerous dogs, barking dogs, feral cats, dogs at large, and just about anything else where a wild animal that occurs in the Township every day. You'll give the call to the police. I follow up on mostly every incident, so most of you hear from me at least now and then. Thank you, and take care.
Are you ready for some Parks and Recreation? Tammy Cohen is up next to explain to you about all the great programs the Township has to offer.
It's basketball season. Register now for the Youth Hoops League and the Youth Hoops Clinic. The Radnor Township Parks and Recreation Department has a number of activities to keep you warm this winter while it's cold outside. At Radnor Activity Center at Sulpizio Gymnasium, we'll have 2 holiday break camps, a basketball camp and a futsal camp. On Monday, January 17th, Martin Luther King Jr. Day, we'll have a Hoops from the Heart basketball clinic that will take place at Cabrini College. There will be youth wrestling on Saturday mornings at Radnor High School and a youth theater program on Saturdays at Ithan Elementary. Additional winter programs offered by the Radnor Township Parks and Recreation Department include indoor tennis for all ages. It includes preschool ages. We also have a preschool junior soccer program, play ball, and 5-star sports. There's also cardio, core, and more for adults and fit and well for adults. And a new impact sports program, a multi-sport program that'll take place on Saturdays. For those of you wondering how do I register for spring sports such as lacrosse, baseball, and softball, and t-ball, please log on to www.radnorsports.com, the community sports organization's website, for more information. The Radnor Township Parks and Recreation Department will also be hosting a chess tournament at Radnor Middle School on Sunday, March 20th. During spring break, we'll have 2 big camps that we'll be offering, a soccer camp and a chess camp. Babysitters training will take place in May for teens. For those of you looking for summer employment, working with the day camps, working with the Summer Tot Lot program, please log on to www.radnor.com and click to the drop-down bar under Parks and Recreation in the Volunteer and Employment section. There you'll find an application which you can complete and return to our department. As I mentioned, we're currently accepting those applications, so you'll want to get those to us right away in early 2011. For those parents out there who are looking to register their children for summer camps and looking for the summer information will be available as of Monday, May 2nd. That's when we'll officially kick off our summer registration. Thank you for joining us in the Radnor Township Parks and Recreation Department. We hope to see you soon.
In our next segment, Melissa Kahn of the Information Technology Department sat down with Linda Roney, the Township Receptionist, who answers some of your frequently asked questions.
Hi, I'm Melissa Kahn, and I'm a member of the IT department. With me here today is Linda Roney, our Township's receptionist. She is the first voice that you hear when you call the Township building and the first face that you see when you come to visit the building. Linda, you get asked a variety of questions every day, but let's go over some of the most common questions that you guys get asked by our residents. What can I do with my yard waste, and when is my yard waste picked up?
Melissa, yard waste is picked up every Wednesday by the Township of Radnor. You can bundle your sticks no longer than 3 foot in length, tie them, put them at curbside. You can also put sticks and weeds in a trash can as long as the sticks are not sticking up over the can for safety purposes. Please have them out by 6:45, 7 o'clock at the latest.
What can I do with my larger trash items, such as sofas and refrigerators, and how do I arrange for pickup?
We have open truck pickup every Wednesday as well. Prior arrangements are to be made for this service. You can get rid of refrigerators, furniture, sofas, lawnmowers, as long as there's no gas or oil, and tires must be removed. The same as with bikes, you must remove the tires. You can do this through our website by signing up for open truck request, or you can stop into the building and fill out a form. Please, if you do want this service and require it, to do that by Monday prior to the Wednesday pickup date.
Linda, how do I get a new recycling can?
New residents are offered a new recycling can free of charge. If you are trying to replace a can, the cost is $20. You can do that by stopping into the building or sending a request and a check in the mail made out to Radnor Township. On Wednesdays, we also drop off recycling cans. So that can will be delivered to your home personally.
What type of items are recyclable, and what is single stream recycling?
I'll start by explaining single stream recycling. Single stream recycling is that everything gets placed together in the same containers. When it goes to the recycling centers, it is separated by machinery. So there's no more having to separate your papers from your cans or your glass. As far as what we do recycle, it's plastic items marked recyclable, items number 1 through 7. We do newspapers, not hardback books, but paperback books, cans, bottles, and the normal recycling things that we've always done. However, with the single stream, we have expanded that to the plastics 1 through 7.
Is there someplace I can drop off my trash and recycling before I leave on vacation?
Radnor Township does not have a dump site. However, if you are going on vacation, we prefer that you call the Township building and we could stop by and make a special pickup for you so that your trash is not sitting out for weeks at a time. With its new trash regulations that started in January of 2010, we have changed to 2 districts for trash and 2 for recycling. If you're District 1 trash, you are a Monday pickup. That would make your District 1 recycling on Thursday. District 2 would be a Tuesday trash day, and Friday would be District 2 recycling day. And that would hold true except for holiday weeks. If there is a holiday during the week, either a Monday or a Friday, we eliminate the Wednesday schedule. So if the holiday falls on a Monday, your Monday trash will be Tuesday, Tuesday trash will be Wednesday. Your recycling would remain the same. If the holiday falls on a Friday, we just back up one day and still eliminate the Wednesday pickups.
Linda, what can I do with my hazardous waste such as oil, and what can I do with my paints?
Melissa, the Delaware County Hazardous Waste Authority holds a recycling event 4 times a year. That schedule is now out. It is on our website, and I do have hard copies at the front desk. They will take anything that is considered hazardous, and oil, gasoline, oil-based paints, batteries are all considered hazardous waste, as well as computer parts. There is a complete listing of what the county does take and what they don't take on our website. Latex paint is a water-based paint. The township will take your water-based paint or latex paints. What we do ask that you do is to pour kitty litter in the cans if there is any wet paint still in the cans. Kitty litter is clay-based, just an inexpensive brand will do, and it will solidify the paint in the cans. We ask you to do this for your own safety's sake, because if the can was spilled or dropped or a car ran into it, it wouldn't be on your driveway, your property, or in the street. We do not pick these cans up with a trash truck because that would cause further damage to the streets and the trash equipment. What we ask that you do is to place the cans in a cardboard box, place it at curbside, and call us the day before your regular trash day, not recycling. So if you have a Monday collection, call us on Friday, let us know how many cardboard boxes you have with paint in them. And we suggest you not put any more than 6 cans to a cardboard box.
Who is my commissioner?
Melissa, there are 7 commissioners in the township. There are 7 wards, obviously, because each one represents one of those wards. We have a complete listing posted in the township building, and that is also listed on our website. If you go to the part of the website that says residents and do a drop down, you will see boards and commissions, and you can find the names that you're looking for and also a ward map.
Is Wayne in Radnor?
Wayne is actually a post office. Yes, it is in Radnor Township, and the zip code is 19087. But part of Wayne is also Montgomery County, besides Delaware County, as Radnor is, and Chester County.
Besides Wayne, what other communities make up Radnor Township?
Radnor Township consists, obviously, all of Radnor, but there are parts of Bryn Mawr, Rosemont, Villanova, Stratford, Newtown Square, and a little bit of Broomall that consist of the Township of Radnor.
Linda, where can I find information about the local utility companies, cable companies, and the Radnor Township School District?
As well, this is on our website. However, if you need help with any of this information, you can give me a call at the Township Building, 610-688-5600, and I will be happy to supply you with those numbers.
Thanks for all the great information, Linda. I think you've been able to provide our residents with the information they're looking for.
Thank you, Melissa.
Next up will be Bob Hale from the Information Technology Department, who will be telling you what you can do with your old computer equipment.
Thanks, Melissa. You may not know it, but inside your computer are many parts that need to be recycled and are a hazard to the environment. Anywhere from your plastic shell to the motherboard, disk drives, hard drives, keyboard, printer and toner, and the monitor. Here at Radnor, we do our best to recycle, and recently took a trip to the Delaware County Recycle Program and spoke with Sue Cords, the recycle coordinator. Here she is explaining the program.
Thanks for coming, Radnor Township, to my hazardous waste event today. We're collecting hazardous waste as well as computers, TVs, scanners, printers, fax machines. Some of the hazardous waste that you'll find in your house would be oil-based paint, sealers, thinners, lawn, pool chemicals, propane tanks, motor oil, antifreeze, car batteries, anything under your sink that says danger, toxic, hazard. Today at our event, we're collecting, we have our vendor here, and they're segregating into different pallets the items that you bring to us. Some of the more notable things that we've gotten at an event has been mercury, extremely hazardous, and one lady brought 3 one-pound coffee cans of mercury, removed a lot of hazardous waste from the environment that day, as well as every day we hold these events. We typically collect around 50,000 pounds of hazardous waste in any given event. The computers, as you know, you shouldn't trash a computer. There are hazardous items in it, such as mercury, lead, cadmium, as well as precious metals in there. Our recycler will recycle all your computers that in one form or another. If they're of the newer version, we use the same program that the IRS uses to wipe your hard drive clean. If the computers are older, they will simply strip you the motherboard, removing the precious metals, and recycle it. They'll recycle then the metal that's in your computer. We recycle even the plastic in your computer. The recycler for computers will strip even the copper wiring out of your cords. The metal goes to a scrap metal dealer. The leaded glass goes to Corning, New York, where they make crystal. Even the plastic cases go to a cement kiln to be used to manufacture cement. So we've hired people that will recycle, not simply make your computer someone else's problem.
Here are the location and dates for the Delaware County 2011 Hazardous Household Waste Drop-Off Program. For more information on computer recycling and other hazardous household waste, including the 2011 drop-off events, please visit the following websites.
Well, there you have it. Please stay tuned to our TV for all that your township has to offer, from public meetings to announcements on the scroll, and of course, the next episode of Radnor 411. Thank you for watching, and remember, our TV is your information station.